And we continue with the second map of this best of 3 between NightWolf and Giacomo, and it's going to be on Twisted Meadows. Certainly not a map known for particularly short matches between Night Elf and Undead. And spawning in the top right corner is once again the Belarusian player in yellow, NightWolf, and he's gonna start with only a Moonwell. So it looks like Tavern Hero and a delayed Ancient of War, so you know, it looks like, let's just hold on for a second. Okay, he's just building it right now. I think it's the same timing he did on the previous map. So it's once again going to be Tavern Hero and Archers. Was just about to say it's going to be Tavern Hero and Hunts, but you know, against Undead that doesn't make a whole lot of sense. So yeah, Tavern Hero and Archers again for Giacomo, NightWolf, and Giacomo in the bottom right corner with Altar, Crypt and Ziggurat. I think the same build order as he did on Turtle Rock as well. I'm gonna see a shop right now. Yeah, it's the exact same build order. This time scouting into the wrong direction, going towards the left hand side of the map. Of course, scouting the bottom left spawn position first. Death Knight first. Yeah, first Ghoul is in production. Altar coming for NightWolf as well as the second Moonwell. And he's not scouting at all so far, which I guess kind of tells us that he's not going to want to get aggressive right at the beginning once he picks up his hero, which is not at all surprising, of course, given that he's facing an undead here who's going to have ghouls to defend his base. Second Ziggurat coming as well. So no super fast tech or anything by Giacomo. He's going to have plenty of ghouls to work with in the early game, especially like late 2006. Undead players still used to take pretty late, building a lot of ghouls, often even either using them for aggression or for some parallel creeping while being aggressive with the DK. So Wisp heading towards the middle right now. First Archer's already out, second Archer soon to be out as well. Death Knight is once again out for Giacomo, heading towards the top of the map. This Ecolite, let me just check the scouting route. So he went here, then only scouted the Ancient of War spot in front of the top left spawn position, and now going towards the top right spawn position, and he found the Dark Ranger. Once again the first choice for NightWolf, so he's not gonna go for the standard Beastmaster, but since it worked out so well on the first map, why not try and do it again? DK is coming in, he's gonna be in time for the coil. Yeah, he easily is. Of course, stopping at 87 HP of this creep isn't the greatest move, I suppose, by NightWolf. And pretty nice movement here with the skeletons, blocking this one archer away from the others, forcing it towards the left hand side, and he's probably going to be able to chase that one down once again. Scout just chilling up here, first of the skeletons being taken down by the Dark Arrow, and he's once again going to need one more hit, and then he's gonna have to throw the coil if he wants to get the experience for this archer, and once again he's gonna get it. Who's now moving out, either for creeping this one, or to join the Death Knight in his aggression against the Night Elf's base potentially, or the Archers. Tier 2 tag has been started. Once again about the same timing for both the players than on the first map. So it seems like Giacomo still feels confident with the general approach to this matchup he's got. I'm just gonna assume he's not gonna try to go for a very greedy tier 2 expansion again, but then again, who knows. Ghoul now passed this Night Elf army, so both the players know of the whereabouts of each other's army. Archer is gonna have to be micro nicely around the Tree of Ages, Wisp being pulled out of the main pretty early on as well. So far nothing lost by NightWolf. The one Wisp might run into trouble if there's gonna be a coil by the DK, but he decides not to do so. Dark Range is taking quite a lot of hits already, down to 300 HP. Wisp is being detonated. Archer's going down nevertheless. Dark Ranger now has to be split away from these archers, and that's not what he wants. To have these archers separated from the Moonwell, separated from the Dark Ranger. And yeah, it looks like because of the lack of the Unholy Aura, Giacomo is not going to be able to punish this, at least for now. One Ghoul is going to be picked off by the Dark Ranger. She's heading back into her own base. 3 Moonwells once again finished. Next Archer coming out, and NightWolf is even has to pay attention to his skeletons here, because Giacomo seems to even be willing to focus those down. Hunter Soul is being produced. This time definitely too late. So it looks like the pressure at least led to some damage, and the archer's not going to be able to sneak through here. Wisp detonates some skeletons, but the archer is going down, not even able to hide in time here to force the use of the Dust of Appearance. Next Wisp, wow, detonating very early on here, so NightWolf definitely feels the pressure. The archers are just now heading back towards the main base, as we can see on the minimap. Second hero already picked up at the tavern. It is the panda once again. The ghouls are stopping there for a second. He's probably, yeah, he's gonna have to use coil to save that one. Panda's out right now. Archer just hiding there in front of the natural expansion. And tier 2 tech about to finish. Second crypt already done, and graveyard finishing with the perfect timing, so he can go right into gargoyle production right now if he wants to. Oh, never mind, he's got his third ziggurat being produced too late, so he's at 29 out of 30 supply here, with only having one gargoyle in production. And now the ghouls do start to do some parallel creeping, but the Dark Ranger, is she smelling it? Apparently she is, and this one orange ghoul is probably gonna run into some trouble. Archers joining the Dark Ranger here as well. There's no point in even trying to go for this round against the panda, the 4 archers and the Dark Ranger. So one ghoul going down, Death Knight, yeah, joining his army here, but it's gonna be really tough for him to finish this creep off. Especially since he does not yet have the mana for another coil. He's soon gonna have it, but I think it's gonna be too late. Breath of Fire even used by the panda, and that's gonna secure the first experience for that hero, as well as the Claws of Attack +6. One of the archers gonna be picked off here. Second gargoyle now out. Death Knight has to pull back this time. Still gonna stay tier 2, at least for now. We're gonna see how much money he's gonna invest into gargoyles before going tier 3. How much harassment he's gonna wanna do. Of course, there's always the chance, by the way, Lich pretty early for him once again. Of course, there's always the chance on Two-Step Meadows to go for like island expansions and a very long drawn out game with a lot of harassment. Edge Protector coming once again for NightWolf. Wisp is doing some scouting up here, maybe getting in position for an expansion at some point. But for now he's just gonna Ancient of War creep the Goblin Laboratory. By the way, double Ancient of Lore, once again, not surprising, and still tier 2 for him. And this push, well, he's gonna have a couple of gargoyles around, and the archers are probably gonna run into some trouble here first. He's immediately pulling those to the back. He's even gonna try to go for this around on the Dark Ranger. Ancient of War is probably gonna fall. The Dryads are doing damage, the gargoyles are doing damage to the Dryads first. Dryads already down, Ancient of War is down. The archers are being focused by the ghouls, and the hero, so perfect focus firing here by Giacomo so far in this fight. The ghoul here is gonna be picked off by the Dark Arrow. Gargoyles just saved themselves over the forest, now heading back as the Dryad got ensnared by the creeps. Pretty unfortunate for NightWolf. So losing another one of these Dryads, and these are not units he wants to lose at this particular time. Even another one is in some trouble, but the Gargoyles have to go back thanks to Breath of Fire. Level 2 on the Panda in the meantime, and he found the Flute of Accuracy, so that's something. Still no shop, by the way, and tier 3 tech once again rather quickly compared to how most NightWolves played it at that given time of the Warcraft 3 metagame. Well, rather quickly compared to not at all, which was the choice by many Night Elf players at the time. And still tier 2, so a lot of investment into the Gargoyles by Giacomo in this game. So he wants to really make this harassment worthwhile. Shop now coming, and the creeps at the Goblin Merchant being pulled by the Dark Ranger. Of course, he desperately wants level 3 and level 3 on both his heroes, but with Giacomo being around, it's not going to be that easy. Giacomo, of course, seeing everything that's going on here at the same time. NightWolf seeing the undead heroes being in position for the nuke to get the last hit on these creeps. The 2 ogres have gone to the Night Elf though. This time no upgrade so far on the Dryads. Tier 3 tech halfway done. Only Tome of Intelligence, so no XP tome here for the Night Elf heroes. Looks like... Is he not? Okay, the Panda picks it up. And the second Troll Trapper is probably going to go to the undead heroes. Oh, actually, it isn't, because Giacomo waiting very long there with the nuke. There's the tier 3 and the slaughterhouse, so once again he's gonna at least add some stat use for now.
Research finished.
Look at the mana on those heroes. He's so conservative with his usage of Coil and Nova so far. Not even really any need to at this point, because what's he saving that for is the question that arises here in my opinion. Shop has finished in the meantime. For NightWolf, nothing else basically at this point. I feel like he's making too little use of his gargoyles at the moment. He could try and go for summer harassment, but it looks like he wants to get those dryads close to the forest to just do those little pokes with the gargoyles. And as we can see, just one volley of those already puts a dryad at less than half of her HP, which is of course great, because then 2 volleys are gonna kill one of the dryads. 1-0 upgrades on the dryads, for now 0-0 on the gargoyles. And the first bear, already adept, has joined the army. Master not coming for now. Second bear in production. NightWolf's got the resources to get the master up. Okay, there's the master upgrade. Panda picks up staff and orb. Now not with the army though, so this might give the gargoyles a bit of time to do some damage against the gargoyles, against the dryads, without being attacked by breath of fire. One of the dryads going down. Second one has to be staffed, so staff is a cooler right now, which might secure Giacomo the kill on this bear. That's exactly what's happening. At the same time, the gargoyles are gonna have to fall back after the next breath of fire here. Panda's still not even close to level 3 though. So he's doing a very good job containing his opponent, and still, like on Turtlerok also, there is a huge long drawn out battle for the one main creep. In this case it's not the turtle, it's the Forest Troll Warlord. And it looks like, yeah, NightWolf is probably gonna not get it actually. The XP goes to the undead. The item, the Rune Brace, is very good. Goes to the Night Elf. Potion has to be used though, because he just used the coil on the Forest Troll Warlord here. And the next coil should be available though, to keep this Lich alive, if it's gonna become necessary, which it's not. So first Shade already in production. No Boneyard though, at least so far for Giacomo.
Our warriors have engaged the enemy.
And NightWolf just continues creeping. He just needs the level 3 on that Panda, because as long as he's level 2, it's not even that crucial to get heal scrolls here for Giacomo. He can just basically poke around with those gargoyles, kill a couple dryads, and then just land somewhere with the stone form and regenerate. So greater invul potion, or normal invul potion, but in basically normal Warcraft 3 it's considered a big invul potion. The actual big invul potion would be the divinity potion. Well, never mind, the next fight is breaking out and Panda is still level 2. First dryad has gone down, second dryad has been staffed already. He could actually pass the staff in between the heroes here in order to circumvent the cooldown at least once. Next breath of fire going into the gargoyles, but he's not taking all that much damage. Does he have a heal scroll? No, he doesn't have a single heal scroll. Next dryad is even pulled back here before the focus fire even starts. One of the bears is going to be killed here. For some reason completely mismicroing the bears here. Second one is probably gonna fall as well. If it doesn't get staffed, it does get staffed. He did pass the staff to the Panda by now. 44 supply against 45. Both of bears don't have a lot of resources saved up, so it's not like any of them is going to go into low upkeep anytime soon. Expansion is now coming, already halfway up. At least the Tree of Life is. Let's see. He does not have Nature's Blessing so far, so it's gonna take a little walk of that tree, to get into position. I'm assuming not scouted so far by Giacomo, since the Shade is just sticking to the Dark Ranger for now. So once NightWolf heads up here in order to creep this, I guess Giacomo is gonna know about what's up. At the same time, he gets the Zeppelin here after creeping the Goblin Laboratory, so he's gonna creep the island. Let's see. Does he still have that 6th Acolyte? I mean, he had that for a very long time, but I'm assuming that's turned into the Shade by now. But NightWolf is gonna go for the island creep as well, and he's gonna have a really hard time creeping this. I mean, of course the Dark Ranger, the Panda with the Orb, and the Dryads are able to attack air, but that's gonna take him a while. On the other hand, of course, the Gargoyles don't have any problems in dealing with those Red Drake's Scroll of Restoration. awesome item for Giacomo. Basically granting him full mana, plus a huge load of healing for those gargoyles against the Breath of Fire. Panda finally level 3, and as mentioned, this takes him a very long time. Shade sitting at the shop right now. The red drake even ate one of the bears, but of course it's gonna come back out eventually once the drake goes down. Let's see what item NightWolf is gonna find. It's gonna be the stone token, also not too bad, since of course it cannot be dispelled. Do we see an island expansion? We do see an island expansion by Giacomo, getting second slaughterhouse again, like in the previous game, but just generally speaking, it's looking much better for him. This time it's 4-3 against 3-3 even, so he's even ahead XP-wise, even though it's just slightly. And also, NightWolf hasn't been able to make that much use out of his bears in this game as he did in the previous game, so another Tree of Life coming. This one hasn't really been used so far, and well, this push shouldn't really be doing too much. As we just saw, NightWolf clicked on the Death Knight and he saw the Scroll of Restoration, so he definitely knows that this expansion or this island has been crept already, which should already alert him and tell him that there's most likely an island expansion. By the way, Nature's Blessing is being researched by now, so also always important in those macro games to get Nature's Blessing, because if there's Nature's Blessing, then 2 Zappers will not kill a Tree of Life, and if there is Nature's Blessing, if there's no Nature's Blessing, then 2 Zappers will kill a Tree of Life. So Preempt of Vitality, level 4 on the Dark Ranger illusion here has been killed, but he's seen the Tree of Life coming, so he at least knows about one expansion, and just continues creeping. Staff of Silence, wow, another great item for Giacomo. So he's not really having any bad luck concerning the items on this map, except for the Boots of Kel'Thuzad, which he's probably gonna sell eventually once he gets to a shop. So Giacomo is breaking into low upkeep right now as he's producing some acolytes to saturate his expansion. At the same time, 2-0 upgrades already on the gargoyle. Still no heal scroll except for the Scroll of Regeneration. Potion of Greater Mana, another great item for Giacomo. And NightWolf has broken into low upkeep already as well. Of course, with 2 expansions, he definitely should do so. Also getting a pretty high level upgrade. He's gonna have 3-1 in a couple of seconds. And he's already putting a bit of pressure onto the undead base. But he's not gonna achieve too much here. Maybe get a couple of buildings killed. But he might lose his expansion return, only losing the Entangled Gold Mine before Giacomo decides to TP. He's gonna lose one of his Spirit Towers. First bear immediately gets killed, but there's nothing NightWolf can achieve here. Staff against the bear, but he's definitely got way too little anti-air at the moment to really win this fight entirely. Very nice micro by Giacomo, dodging the Breath of Fire here. Next bear gets killed, so very nice fight by Giacomo, and I think NightWolf definitely staying into this fight too long. Next bear being staffed back, and he's now even trying to outrun the undead army. Gonna lose one more Dryad while trying to do so. The next bear, well, he's passing the staff once again to the Dark Ranger, and he is able to staff this bear in time. But now the Panda is in trouble. Greater Invo Potion is available though. Next Breath of Fire going into those gargoyles. But once again, the damage output is way too small to really stay into this fight in the long run. But the DK is running low HP, so that one might have to be careful eventually. Okay, staff passed once again, but this is going to basically be the death sentence of this Panda, so I'm not agreeing with the decision making of NightWolf here. He did have the Town Portal on his Dark Ranger, and he could have just passed that to the Panda instead of passing the staff to the Dark Ranger, and that would have saved both his heroes' lives. So I think the level 3 Panda is definitely of greater value to him than the Town Portal, especially given that he's got 2 expansions, even though this one is only running at 2 Wisps and this one is only running at 4 Wisps for now, but his income is going to skyrocket right now, whereas, you know, he doesn't want to have the experience of the undead heroes skyrocket. So it's 64 supply for Giacomo. His expansion, I was just about to say, running completely unchallenged. This bear with the Regeneration well, is going to do some minor harassment, but the air army is around and he can just fly in with, how many gargoyles are there? I guess around like 10, 12, and take down that bear. Second spirit tower being upgraded right now as well. Bear is going down, so that didn't really do too much. I think one acolyte's been killed. At least that won NightWolf some time to almost get his panda back and to really get these two expansions kicking in economy wise. Dark Ranger is even going to close in on level 5. I'm assuming he's going to use this Wand of Illusion in order to make space for the... Yeah, that's exactly what he's doing. He's making space for the Boots of Kel'Thuzad. For him, a great item, of course, as it boosts the damage and the attack speed of the Dark Ranger, as well as a little armor, of course. And Giacomo is going to go for the push right now, and this should still be very nicely timed. So the panda is going to be back any second right now. He's even using the rock golem, so it looks like he's gonna wanna try and defend this expansion already halfway down. Panda is now coming. Looks like he drank one moon while having 170 mana right now. Rock golem is now coming in, doing the stone bolt on one of the eliminations, level 5 on the Dark Ranger right now. But as long as the panda isn't in place, he's not really able to fight at the moment. Being pushed back once again. Bolt goes on the gargoyle, but doesn't do too much. The panda even going all the way back into the main base. What does he want there? That's the question. Just buy a heal potion? I think so. Nova going into the wisps. He desperately wants to hold this expansion. Of course, with the Dark Ranger, he always wants to have an economy lead, and with only one expansion, that wouldn't be the case. Nova going on the Dark Ranger, and he's gotta use the Town Portal level 4 on the Panda. Is he gonna get a Breath of Fire in? Yes, he is. But other than that, not really able to do too much damage to this army. The expansion is now gonna fall. 77 supply against 61. And down goes the Tree of Life. And by the way, the mains have run out as it appears. Tree of Eternity is gonna march down here. The natural expansion on the right hand side of the map, which has not even been crept yet. So the Lich very close to level 5. Oh, what's laying around here? Wow, these players just dropping their items everywhere on the map. Maybe this has never been picked up after this has been crept. Not quite sure. Panda gonna do some more creeping here. Just securing this position for his Tree of Eternity. But yeah, the tech switch is really kicking in for Giacomo right now. He's got 6 abominations already in place, 1 destroyer, 1 statue here, and he's gonna bring his acolytes as well. So this push 79 supply against 68, 3-1 upgrades against 2-0 on the gargoyle, no upgrades on the abominations. Lich, as I mentioned, about to reach level 5. I think he still has the Scroll of Restoration as well as 2 heal scrolls. Drunken Haze going onto the gargoyles, dispelling the Drunken Haze. Breath of Fire only goes on the abominations. The rock golem already falling. First Dryad also about to fall, and the abominations are even in number compared to the bears. And that's definitely not what NightWolf wants at this point, given that there are still plenty of gargoyles around in that fight as well. Shredder now joining the fight. One of the abominations gotta be called level 6 on the Death Knight right now. Maybe this is one of the rare cases where the ultimate could actually be useful. He decides to throw a coil on the abomination though. Skilling the level 3 Unholy Aura. Scroll of Restoration used right now. Still 78 supply for Giacomo, who has not really lost a lot in this fight. Panda is the target right now, and there are only like 3 Dryads remaining right now, as well as the heroes. For NightWolf, Panda's gotta be staffed. And those 2 Dryads are probably doomed. So is the Shredder. And more units are going down. And 41 supply against still 80. The Dark Ranger is now in trouble. There's no more Town Portal on her. The Panda is not even close. Actually, he got staffed to the bottom because the Tree of Eternity wasn't in the main anymore. And he didn't even dare getting close to the Tree of Eternity. And right now he's gonna close in on that one. What is... yeah, there's the GG by NightWolf. Not able to do anything against that anymore. So this game going way better for Giacomo. NightWolf getting his expansion in place, but it took him a very long time to actually get that one going. And then I guess in when he attacked the main base of Giacomo, and he got like the kill on the sacrificial pit and one of the spirit house, he definitely overstayed his welcome. He lost a couple of bears, and in the end even losing his panda, just thanks to some horrendous decision making, in my opinion. And that put him in a very tough spot, as the undead heroes in the deciding fights were already at level 5, 4, and later on even 5, 5. And after losing that expansion, which was not on the island, the top expansion, it was already looking quite grim for NightWolf. So that's the equalizer in this best of 3. And once again, we're going to go the full distance here. Third map is going to be Gnollwood, and that's what we're gonna see next.